Hey, bye bye. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to tell you about Python type hints. So before we start, I would like to tell you that if you want to search all videos uploaded by me, then you can use the tag PyPy, which is PYPIA. Okay, and then you'll find all the videos which have been uploaded by me. Okay, guys. So let's start. So I'll tell you about Python type hints, which were introduced in Python 3.5 and late, and it can be used for higher versions than 3.5. As you can see, I'm using Python 3.7, so I will be able to demonstrate how to use Python type hints. So why do we need it? So as you all know, Python is not doing a type checking. Okay, we can every variable is treated as an object in Python, and we can assign a string, an integer, a float, or any value to a Python variable. Okay, but that created a problem in the last year. What happened? Many programmers were programming were programming without type hints, so it will end up, so code readability was not very good. The other person who has to add a module or plug in their API, they have to read the entire function and to read the source as well to get to understand the type of object that is being passed. It also created some problems where incorrect arguments were passed to a function, which led to outages. That is from my personal experience. Okay, guys, so I'll tell you about now what are the I'll tell you about the Python type hints. Okay. So guys, before I introduce you to duck typing, so you might be aware of it that there are two type of languages which do variable checking. First is static checking, like in Java and in C, you have to define the type of variable to be string, integer, and then there are dynamically checked languages like Python, Fortran, Ruby, and all those. Okay, where the type of variable is assessed during the runtime. Okay, so duck typing is a method introduced in dynamic typing language. What duck typing says? Duck typing says the type of object is less important than the function it defines. Okay, so let me tell you it with an example, simple example. Let's define a function which will return the multiplication of two variables. Now let's define a class dd which will have a init method. Now let's create two objects, d1 with value 4, d2 with value 5. Okay, now just print mul of d1 comma d2. Let's define one more method here, comma other return self dot I into gr. We will not be using this function first. Let's use the mul function. Oh, called it as that. Let's change this to mul. Let's execute this. Here you can see it returned as an error that unsupported operand type for multiplication, integer, and dd. Okay. Okay, cool. So now let's call this function with the d1 dot. Let's call it as 4. See guys, so it multiplied. That is the concept of duck typing. That the type of object is less important than the function itself. So you can see the type when we use this method, the type of object was less important. So function has a higher priority, that's why it throws an error. Okay, while here the type of object is compatible, that's why everything went well. Okay, this so let's move on to the type hints, how to use a type hint. Okay, so type hints are basically introduced like this. We can define the type of variable. Okay, then we will have another to say that it will be returning an integer. Let's directly call it 3 comma 4. Here you can see. So these do not provide any runtime benefits, but yes, they increase the efficiency of your code and the readability of the code. Okay, so the team will make less mistakes, and it is very useful. And suppose so this is the basic concept. Now let's see how we can identify the type of an object. So that can be done by using the type command. Okay, let's print one more thing just to clarify. Type of hello. Okay, let's run it. Okay, so the problem was with the brackets. I fixed it. Now let's execute it. Here you can see, so it is just saying that the return object for the Samuel method is an integer, which obviously it is. We are returning an integer, and the hello is a string. So this is another way we can identify the type of an object. Okay, let's go to another concept and think that we want to use a strict check. Like here, if I want to if I want to call it with an integer argument, it should be called with an integer argument. Otherwise, it should throw a runtime exception. Okay, or a compile time exception. Okay, so let's do one thing. There is one more module from Python which can be used here, which is MyPy. Sorry guys, I'm not able to install MyPy module here. So with MyPy module, what it will do, it will basically compare the past value against the type of the function, against the type of the variable, and if it does not match, it will throw a build failure. Okay, for the Python application. Now let's move to see if you want to understand the argument that is being passed here. Suppose there is a remote function whose definition and declaration you do not know, but you know that the type hints were added in that function. Now let's want to understand what are the arguments, how to figure out the type of arguments which are being passed to the function. Okay, for this the function, there is a annonation which can be used for Python. Now let's see how to use. Here you go. So here you can see, so it will tell you that you have to pass one two, okay, mod one two two variables with the type of integer, and the return which you'll get will be an integer. So if you know suppose we are not suppose you are importing a function from a remote package whose definition you do not know, then you can simply call that function name dot annotations, and you'll get to know the type of arguments that you need to pass. So this is all about Python hints. Okay, Python type hints. Please like and subscribe this video. Thank you. Bye bye.